Hello and welcome to my thoughts on the Australian Ashes squad for 2017 and 18 coming up in literally, I think it's 3 days time actually from when I'm recording this. And this is the squad that was just announced just last week. Steve Smith captain, David Warner vice captain, and there's all the other names that you can read just there. But I reckon definitely the lineup will be David Warner, Bancroft will open, Khawaja at 3, Steve Smith at 4, Peter Handscomb at 5, Shaun Marsh at 6, Tim Payne at 7, Mitchell Starc or Pat Cummins at 8, and then whichever one's not at 8, they'll be at 9, and then Nathan Lyon or Josh Hazlewood 10 and 11. That would be it, I reckon, and then Jackson Bird and Chad Sayers will not play. That's what I reckon. But it's an interesting selection conundrum they've done here. They've not really picked a all-rounder whatsoever, which is odd. Their coach, Darren, that's it, Darren Lehman. I knew his second name, but I didn't know his first name. Darren Lehman, he said Steve Smith will have to do some bowling, which, for goodness sake, if he's got to do bowling, then they're really in trouble, even though he got picked as a leg spinner when he first came in the side. But I also just want to show you my thoughts on some of the contenders and why the squad's potentially not the best they picked. So let's look at the contenders here. First of all, Matthew Renshaw. That's pretty, I can understand why they dropped him, because he didn't score many runs. I think they were saying his average was like 11. It wasn't very good at all. Didn't have like a 50 in like 10 innings or something. So yeah, he was not doing very well, but only age 21. Could have potentially picked him, but they decided, nah, you don't need him. They said Glenn Maxwell scored some runs, but not big enough apparently. Darren Lehman wanted him to score 180, which I thought was a bit bold. I mean, can't just tell players to go out and score double centuries pretty much. That just doesn't work, you know. And only a couple of people got one. I think only two people got double centuries, and one of them wasn't even picked anyway. So there you go. Hilton Cartwright, he's one for the future as well, but obviously just by the sounds of it didn't get enough runs under his belt, and from what I've seen, his bowling's just not been that great, and his batting could certainly improve. But hey, he's only young. Hopefully he'll be in the squad soon. I feel really hard done by for, not myself, but for George Bailey and Alex Doolan, who weren't even considered for selection despite scoring bucket loads of runs each, and both for the same team, which is Tasmania, but just because of their age, they're like, nah, you're out, and then they pick Shaun Marsh on form, which I thought was a bit odd. So, you know, we'll see, but I don't agree with that selection, to be quite honest. Peter Neville, I think he's not the best batsman, I'd say. Even people say, you know, he's a better batsman than Matthew Wade and whatnot, but yeah, but he's not that great. He's still not that good. His keeping's fine, but his batting's not that great. Wouldn't pick him. He's too old as well. He's 31 or something. Come on, I would be for picking youngsters for the future, and that leads me to the next point. Alex Carey. Personally, I would have picked Alex Carey, even though he didn't score many runs, because they've got 6 batsmen in their top 6, all batsmen. So I reckon the runs will already be scored by the time he even gets to the crease. And if not, he can try and, you know, counter-attack and try and play a bit of a Gilchrist role. And he's also very young. And I'd say get some young blood in there, and then, sure, pressure of Ashes series, but, I mean, you got to breed blood sooner or later, but, you know, they decided to go with Tim Payne, which I thought was a bit weird. Although I agree with it, he's in form and whatnot, but I would just go for young talent more than anything for a wicketkeeper slot. But that's fine. I'm sure they'll pick him shortly in the future, and therefore if they do, awesome. Don't worry about that then. But Matthew Wade, yeah, he just plays too much like Peter Neville, really. Plays too, what's the word, conservative. Instead of playing more like a Gilchrist type role where he, you know, Brad Haddon back in the day would counter-attack, especially like in the 13-14 Ashes series, went out there, counter-attacked when they were on the back foot, put England on the back foot, and then put them into a winning position just through that. But yeah, Matthew Wade's just been poor. He's just going against his natural instincts, and you know, he should really just go out there and play as he normally does, which is with intent and with attacking intent. But yeah, that's my opinion on him. Travis Head, I think he's a great player, but again, didn't really score enough runs. Got knocked over by a couple of peaches from Mitchell Starc, and I mean, I'd say he needs to sort that out, but it's Mitchell Starc. So, I don't know. Can he complain? Probably not. But, yeah. One for the future, potentially, if he scores more runs without Mitchell Starc being there present for New South Wales. Marcus Stoinis, I didn't actually see any results from him whatsoever. I know I was there in person when he smashed 124 or 123 not out against New Zealand just earlier in 2017. But, I mean, yeah, he's a class player. He can hit a ball, and I'd say he's pretty unlucky to miss out, I'd say. He's got potential, but, yeah, I don't know, obviously results wasn't that good, or decided, well, the main reason is they didn't actually pick an all-rounder, which I thought was a bad move, because it just means Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, etc. will get more pressure to bowl more overs, which, you know, England can potentially run their whole team down by just batting 100 overs, and they're stuffed potentially for the rest of the game, potentially for the rest of the series. They could injure Mitchell Starc just by bowling him too much. Jake Lehmann, yeah, I saw him scoring runs, but it's just really awkward, I'd say, with poor Darren Lehmann as the coach having to, you know, try and select him, and looked a bit, but you know, it would look biased, etc., etc., which is just really tough spot for him to get in. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get in the Australian squad without him just retiring his coach, you know. So, yeah, let's just see what happens with that. And Mitchell Marsh, I'd say he wasn't in the best of batting form in the Sheffield Shield, but I have to say that he was scoring runs in the JLT Cup or whatever, the one-day competition they were doing. But the problem is he just isn't bowling at the moment because of his injury. So, yeah, that's really put him out of contention, because they really, really would have liked an all-rounder. And I would have picked, potentially, Stoinis over Sean Marsh, just because you don't need that much experience. You've already got quite a bit of experience, I'd say, especially in Australia. You don't need... Experience is not the best thing to have, I'd say, in Australia. It is helpful, but yeah, they've already got Tim Payne, who's got experience, so why pick Sean Marsh? I'd pick Marcus Stoinis. That's just my opinion. Anyways, guys, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little look at the Australian squad. I'll just bring it up for you guys one last time. There you go. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this little look. And tell me if you want more of these. Please leave a like, subscribe for more content such as this, and I'll see you guys with the England thoughts of their Ashes squad coming up in 3 days' time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, guys.